what does it mean to have to create oneself from scratch in environments where one is not supposed to exist. Black life is that which must be constitutively abjected, and as such has represented the negative ontological ground for the Western order of things for the last 500 years. Everybody can still hear me? Okay. Scream, please, if you can't. But cannot be included in the Western order of things. As an ontological formation, Black life not only forms a part of the modern West, but must be understood as constitutive of this domain. The Middle Passage, transatlantic slavery, racial slavery, the plantation system, and the gendered racial terror erected on Black people were not one-time events. They spanned almost 500 years from the early 15th century well into the 19th century, and their consequences can still be felt everywhere around the globe. And Germany, for a very brief moment, was also involved in the slave trade in what was then known as the Gold Coast, today's Ghana. But of course, that is even more buried than Germany's colonial, more recent colonial pasts. So, colonialism, though officially ending in the 1970s on the African continent, did not stop the subjugation, expropriation, enslavement, rape, killing, and Black life, which continues under different guises today, among other places, in the prison industrial complex, in the current refugee crisis, quote unquote, and in the neocolonization of many African nations by the West. Given this historical sedimentation, Blackness and Black life have become the negative fleshly foils for the being of white Western man. Nevertheless, Black life is continuously made to be ontic, a recent appearance, the recent refugee crisis, right? As opposed to something that has such deep historical and what I'm arguing is ontological roots. Black life, which is intimately tied to anti-Black racism, but never reducible to it, provides the ontological conditions of possibility for the historical or ontic existence of Black people, Black diasporas, Black culture, but also whiteness, Europeanness, and modernity writ large. As a result, focusing only on the ontic leaves intact the structural basis for racial slavery, Jim Crow, neocolonial exploitation, etc., and so on. Continuing my exploration of Hortense Spiller's notion of the flesh in my book Habeas Viscus, my talk today focuses on Black life as this ontological sphere. For Spillers, the flesh represents a privileged domain as opposed to the body through which man marks the hierarchical species-level difference between himself and his various others. For instance, Latino, poor, incarcerated, disabled, gender non-conforming subjects, but especially African-descended populations. To say it more succinctly, and in the words of Hortense Spillers, Black is not only vestibular to culture, but also to life and being in this here prison house of modernity.